Fuji Speedway in Japan, the venue for round 5 of the FIA World Endurance Championship, and after a 3-year enforced hiatus because of COVID, restrictions have been lifted just in time to allow the multitude of fervent Japanese fans to return to the race circuit and to take a view of the cars up close, as well as meeting their heroes.
Been 3 years without coming here. It's like not being able to come back home, so we are really happy to be here, really pleased to see you.
The Japanese fans are some of the most knowledgeable and enthusiastic on the planet, and the drivers respond in kind. In the shadow of Mount Fuji, weather is often a factor at the speedway, but for 2022 the forecast is set fair. Here in Japan, about a month earlier than is usual, it is hot and sunny. Trophy for the winners being returned by the crew of number 8. They were the last victors here back in 2019. Can they do it again? Pole position in the GTE Am class, another titanic battle between the Iron Dames and TF Sport. Unlike in Monza though, Ben Keating coming out narrowly on top this time. Michael Christensen dominated in GTE Pro in the 92 Porsche. They start from pole. Jota with Antonio Felix da Costa, the pole sitters in LMP2. And Toyota Gazoo Racing, car number 7, claiming their first ever pole here in Japan.
Under 5 minutes to start the formation lap for the 6 Hours of Fuji. Board on the grid. 1 minute to start the formation lap for the 6 Hours of Fuji. Please clear the grid immediately.
The field waved away by 50-year-old Keiko Segura, who won Paralympic gold on this track just last year. Lights out and away we go. Kamui Kobayashi leaping away from the field before the lights even changed. Sebastian Buemi in second place. Toyota the dominant force here, and they are going to make no mistakes. Neatly through the first corner. A couple of LMP2 cars running out very wide, and so does the second place Porsche in GTE Pro, but it looks like everybody's made it through cleanly, and in good weather. That is great news. Running out wide, real team by WRT, costing 3 places at least, make that 4. Jota's Roberto Gonzalez held up by the Peugeot Hypercars, and through goes Sean Galale. That's a change for the lead. Kamui Kobayashi leaping away from Sebastian Buemi. Toyota number 7. First ever pole position in Japan for the number 7 Toyota. Number 8 the winners last time out here. Change for the lead, look, the Ferrari ahead of the Porsches there in GTE Pro, so he's jumped the pole sitter. That's a great start for Ferrari. Heading down the hill into the tight right-left hairpin. All lock up ahead in trouble contact. 2 LMP2 cars, a Jota and Algarve Pro. That's Stephen Thomas in the Algarve Pro car. And that is the 28 Jota car, Jonathan Aberdeen. Blimey! Stephen Thomas with a huge lock-up. Hit the car about 3 ahead of him. Here he comes down the inside. He's tried to make a pass but completely misjudged the braking, locked it all up and clattered Aberdeen. Leaders come across the line in LMP2, and the WRT car of Sean Galale pulling away from Roberto Gonzalez. Vector Sport in third, ahead of the 2 blue, white and red United Auto Sports cars. And Roberto, one of the gentleman drivers, doing exactly what he needs to do, focusing on his race but holding up the quick guys behind him.
Now yellow strategy 3, yellow strategy 3. Copy, yellow strat 3. The sister car seems to be struggling a lot with focusing. Copy, you can save energy behind him, save energy.
James Rossiter asking the team there in coded language, please let me through, he's holding me up, but the Peugeot's running 4-5 in Hypercar. In LMP2, the gap is opening up, Sean Galale pulling away in the shadow of Mount Fuji, visible here for the first time since 2016, we're having a green race, and the Prema car moving up the order. There is GTE Pro, Ferrari now creeping away a little bit. James Collado had a very good start to get ahead of poleman Kevin Estre in the 92 Porsche. A Porsche already saving fuel and tyres. It's not a particularly abrasive circuit, and there might be a little bit of strategy at play here. There is Ben Keating in the bright blue Aston Martin, started on pole in GTE Am. David Pittard, factory driver for AMR Northwest, started at the back of the grid, as did the D-Station car behind him. So Tomonobu Fuji there coming through the field as well. They've started their best rated drivers. And here, Ben Keating drifting out a little wide, David Pittard holding the inside line. This is the battle for second in GTE Am. Sarah Bovey ahead in the Iron Dames Ferrari. Oh, challenge for the lead. Through goes Kevin Estre down into turn 1. Gets back in front of James Collado. High five in the garage. Collado not giving this one up. This is going to be an epic battle. 5 drivers in GTE Pro covered by 1 point at the beginning of the race. Change of lead in GTE Am, Northwest AMR, that 98 car of David Pittard from the back row has got ahead of Sarah Bovey, who started second in the Iron Dames Ferrari after a great battle for pole with Ben Keating. She was on pole last time out at Monza. They finished second. Right behind, Tomonobu Fuji. Northwest AMR and D-Station starting their fastest drivers because they didn't set a lap in qualifying and needed to come through the field, and they've done exactly that. Fuji-san looking to go the long way round the outside here at his home circuit, and through he goes for second place. So Sarah Bovey down to third as the Peugeots sweep through as well. A distinctive no rear wing look to the car. Will Owen for United Autosports under pressure now from the red, white and green Prema car of Louis Delatraz. The GR Racing Porsche holds him up. He has a little wheel spin there as he tries to gain traction, and through goes Delatraz, who's now hot on the heels of the Vector Sport car right in front. So good move by Delatraz, and Will Owen just getting the wrong side of that Porsche. Here is our Pro-Am lead battle. Francois Heriot in the chrome red Ultimate machine. And behind him in the chrome and black AF Corsa car is Francois Perrodo. Now, the Algarve Pro car that crashed earlier and is still in the garage is the points leader in Pro-Am, but maybe not for long. Oh, lead change in GTE Am. Tomonobu Fuji in the black and green D-Station car. The local team, their factory is less than half a mile from the gates of the circuit. He's gone past David Pittard. So what happened there? Let's take a look. Oh, lock up from Pittard into the hairpin, over the grass. Easy pickings for Tomonobu Fuji. Knows this track like the back of his hand. Through he goes. There is the Vector Sport car of Ryan Cullen in 10th place. Now, what's happened there? Because he was in 3rd. Ryan Cullen inside Thomas Floor in that silver Ferrari. Little bit of contact there as he was battling with the Prema car for 3rd place, and the car's come to a dead halt. So that's cost him more than half a dozen places. Toyota's leading comfortably here. 2 seconds between Kamui Kobayashi, the poleman, and Sebastian Buemi. So Kamui, of course, the team principal of Toyota Gazoo Racing, and Sebastian Buemi, one of the 2 drivers that won here last time out. GTE Pro battle in amongst the GTE Am field. Oh, and Nick Tandy in the Corvette over the grass on the inside, attacking Miguel Molina as they get held up by the Iron Lynx Ferrari, and Nick Tandy has been handed a drive-through penalty for track limits. Meanwhile, here is the lead battle once more. Have at it. James Collado inside Kevin Esch. Esch locking up into turn 1 now, trying to get the cut back on the inside. Collado with speed down the hill though, had a much cleaner run through turn 1. He is back in front.
Yeah, you said they're faster, so let's not do anything silly, just stick to our plan.
Another blow for the Porsche team. Drive-through penalty handed to Jimmy Bruni for track limits.
Okay, Neil, we have a drive-through. So next time by, drive-through penalty, please.
Thanks, but why? It was not track limits at all. Where are these track limits?
Well, his data system in the car will have told him where he was being watched for track limits. Never mind. Penalty served. Jota coming in for a pit stop as well, but that takes one of the Porsches potentially out of the hunt, and it may be a race that is won by those who avoid penalties. Second place battle, Roberto Gonzalez, the green Jota car. Prema's Louis Delatraz following him in. WRT in from the lead in LMP2 as well. So this is where the team sport element to this comes in, how quickly you can turn the car around in the pit lane. So off goes WRT, and Prema moves off the pit apron first. Roberto Gonzalez not quite as quick away, and he can't pull into the fast lane. They're both on the speed limiter, so Prema gained the spot, not by much, but by just enough. So Louis Delatraz comes back out in second. He can see his target in front. Let's take a look here. Just a little apprehensive away, maybe trying to avoid wheel spin and a penalty, Roberto Gonzalez. There is the Prema car now in second place. Louis Delatraz free to chase the leaders. Sean Galel out front. And after 1 hour, Jonathan Aberdine from the back of the field, after being turned around on lap 1, is up to second. He's had an astonishing run through LMP2. Sean Galel running a little wide under pressure. Again, battle for second place, Ferrari with Porsche. Kevin Esch being dive-bombed into turn 1 by Miguel Molina. So the Ferrari, which is outpaced by Porsche here, maybe not able to get the best out of its tyres in qualifying, but it looks as though they've got a good race car. But Molina, just about wheels inside the white line, but Estra was giving him no room more than was required there. Molina having to elbow his way through, and late on the brakes. So the Porsche down to third. Ferrari 1-2, 92 Porsche in third, and then the battle between the 2 GTE cars that have done drive-throughs, Jimmy Bruni and Nick Tandy, both for track limits. And if they continue to run out very wide, they won't be the last penalties they get. Tandy was very close indeed there on the final corner. Pit stop for the Alpine in Hypercar, currently running in 4th place between the two Toyotas. The drivers in the Alpine are the points leaders. They need a podium here to stay in the hunt. Leader stops, Toyota number 7. Comfortably in front of the number 8 car. Now the number 8, as is habitually the case, will go around for another lap. 93 is in for Peugeot as well. Little check at the back of the car. This is only the 2nd race for the 9X8 Hypercar. So still very much a work in progress. And the race leader is in now. Car number 8, Sebastian Buemi, leading for 1 lap. And then coming in for his fuel stop. Toyota, like most of the other 2-car teams, making sure they don't stack the cars at the first pit stop and hold each other up. Getting ready for a tyre change. 94 Peugeot is in as well, and that is James Rossiter having a fantastic run, knows this track intimately, and it really shows the car is flying.
Really happy to see how James is doing, a really strong first stint. Obviously this is a really strong place for him in Loic, so we can take all the advice we can. It's a long race, but we're happy to be running smooth, and hopefully it continues this way.
Battle for the lead in LMP2, Sean Gelair with Jonathan Aberdeen behind him, the South African driver inside the Indonesian, and Jota have the lead of the race from being knocked off the track on lap 1. Fantastic stuff from Jonathan Aberdeen, really having an absolutely superb race here in Fuji. GTE Pro, trouble for Nick Tandy in the Corvette. Coming into the pits, the car ran dry in the pit lane. The team had to run and push him, and that is effectively another penalty. It's taken them about 40 seconds to get him to the fuel hose. So their fuel calculations were out by probably a coffee mug full. Battle for lead in GTE Am, again D station on Northwest AMR, but now, after the first stop, it is the gentleman drivers. So Satoshi Hoshino in the D station car and Paul Dallalana in Northwest AMR. Well, this is Hoshino's home circuit, but Dallalana has been here plenty too, so he knows this track well. It's still an Aston Martin 1-2-3. Ben Keating in 3rd place, continuing, and at the end of this fuel stint, he will have done his full driving time. Will Owen in 6th, Esteban Gutierrez down the inside into turn 5 and 6. That's a deep dive. He managed to hang on there. The American driver all over the back of the Mexican now, though, because Gutierrez had to run out wide. Can he make a move down here? No. Esteban covers off the inside, and that's a block pass. If you get on the inside, they just can't get around you there. Second round of pit stops for LMP2, Jonathan Aberdeen out. That's Ed Jones, who lives in the Emirates. He's taking over the car that came in from the lead in LMP2. So fantastic race for the 28 Jota crew. Full tank and fresh tyres for Ed Jones. Jonathan Aberdeen's duties don't finish though. He's talking to Louise Beckett.
Obviously getting spun around at the start is not ideal. But we have a great car today, which allowed me to do some good maneuvers on the guys in front and drive to the front. The car's great. I'm sure my teammates will do a good job, and hopefully all will go to plan.
On board with Sebastian Buemi, the gap of 2 seconds that Kamui Kobayashi was holding in the first stint has evaporated. Now it comes and goes in traffic. The leader is always at a slight disadvantage as he catches traffic first. But look how wide he ran out there compared to Buemi. Buemi definitely trying to tell the team that he's got a quicker car. And right now it seems that number 8 car is the quicker of the two. The only problem is the team boss is in car number 7.
Swap position, third one.
So, sir, can you let this faster car behind you through? It's always a tough call, I suppose, but racing is racing. The deal with Toyota is, if you get on the radio and say, I'm quicker, and Sebastian Buemi has done that and is allowed through, the team give you 2 laps to get away from the other car. If you don't, then you get back in line again. And that is absolutely hard and fast rules, no matter who is in the car. Here is the Alpine Peugeot battle. James Rossiter and Andre Negrão. Now, Rossiter did not take any tyres at the last stop. Negrão didn't either. But for Peugeot, this is a brand new circuit. They don't quite know what to make of it yet. Alpine have raced here, not with this car. Last time it raced here, it was on the podium actually, but it was an LMP1 Rebellion. Now it's a Hypercar Alpine. That's just the way the history of the car is. But Alpine have got a history of this car here. It looks as though their tyres are holding up better. And in traffic, James Rossiter getting a little squeeze there from Satoshi Hoshino in the D-Station Aston. The lead car in GTE Am, working their way through the Am field. Here is Richard Leeds. All contact with the 88 Dempsey Proton Porsche. Porsche on Porsche down here at turn 5 and 6. Well, he went into what looked like an open window, and unfortunately then the Dempsey Proton driver really slammed the door shut. Not sure that he saw the Porsche coming there. So the factory car, is it okay? Well, he hasn't come into the pits.
Is the car okay?
First, yeah.
Okay, continue.
The next driver, we need to carry the brake very long into turn 1, turn 5, turn 14, 16. We need to carry the brakes long, otherwise no front end.
Copy.
So maybe that is how Sebastian Buemi is finding more pace than this car, the number 7 Toyota, pitting ahead of the number 8 again, but from second place this time. 94 comes in. What a great start to the race James Rossiter has had in this machine, and that will really buoy up his confidence. The leader is in then, car number 8, and the door opens. Sebastian Buemi is done. He hands over to Brendan Hartley. These two won the last race here in 2019 in October with Kazuki Nakajima, who is no longer racing but is in the team still as team manager. So fresh tyres go on, full tank of fuel for Hartley, and he will resume in the lead of the race. Third driver, young Ryo Hirakawa, will be the final driver then, so by that stage, will number 8 have continued its dominance, or their number 7 in the background coming down the straight? Looks like that 2-second gap has grown a lot. Prema in from the lead in LMP2, WRT and the two Jotas, and then Real Team by WRT. They're the contending teams. United Autosport a little bit out of it actually. And that's not good. WRT's 31 car goes through into the lead once more. And they stay out. So Prema are in. Jota stay out as well. There's WRT, our new race leader. Fuel stop for the Iron Dames. The all-female crewed car. Sarah Bovy out, Rahul Fry will take over. And again, the podium finishers in Monza are right in the hunt.
After the start was pretty good. Probably I overpushed a little bit on the tires, and the end of my first stint was really tough. After that, in the second stint, I think I managed a bit better, but it's really difficult on this track to be consistent and not making mistakes. Managing the traffic is also extremely challenging. So at the end, I'm quite happy that I managed to stay out of trouble. Now let's hope that we can fight for the podium at the end of the race. My teammates are extremely fast, and I'm quite sure that they will do a good job out there.
In from what is the lead in GTE Am, Francesco Castellacci. The car started by Thomas Floor, so they're doing single stints in this car. They were doing doubles in the Iron Dames machine. And once they come into the pits, then the Aston Martins will cycle back to the front of the field. Davide Rigon is the third driver in the car this weekend. On board with Toyota number 8, and Brendan Hartley, inheriting the lead from Sebastian Buemi, is gradually building on that. Jose Maria Lopez in car number 7, the second Toyota Gazoo Racing Hypercar, cannot match the pace of the leaders. The team say there is a difference in setup, but they can't change the number 7 car to match the number 8. So it does seem as though perhaps it's something like damping, which you can't change during the race, rather than just some trim, balance or aerodynamics. But Brendan Hartley starting to pull away now. 94, Loic Duval, another driver who knows this track extremely well, in 4th place for Peugeot, but blowing out oil smoke, and that can't be good news. That's rather too much for comfort. And coating the screen of the United Autosports car behind as well. They won't be enjoying that. The Alpine up to 3rd place. And that's where it needs to be to maintain at least part of the race lead. There's Roster on the right-hand side watching. And into the garage goes the 94 car now. How much of a fix will this be? Car's done one race, and both cars had problems in Monza.
We seem to have a turbo issue.
Mikkel Jensen in the 93 Peugeot. This car with porpoising problems down the straight. That's because of its ground effect aerodynamics. It gains its aero from the underbody. And they have clearly got a bit of a setup issue on 93, but so far running cleanly. However, trouble for Vector Sport. Number 10 car in LMP2, Sebastian Bourdais. Race here in Formula 1, but that was a while ago. And off goes the Iron Dames car as well, caught out by Bourdais there. So Rahel Frey comes back on just in front of the car she's battling, the Aston Martin, but she was out very wide in the last turn. Bourdais looping it round. He's had 3 wins this season in IMSA in the Cadillac DPI, but that is a very different car with its stock block V8. Well, here is Rahel Frey, right behind her. Nikki Team in the Northwest AMR car, dives up the inside, but she's got the tight line, holds on to 4th place. Tommy Milner stuck behind this in the GTE Pro Class Corvette. This track new to Milner and the team. Nick Tandy's raced here a couple of times, but the team still learning all about Fuji. Trying to find out where to pass, keep the car clean within track limits, not run out of fuel again. It's been a long race so far.
Yeah, I mean, the whole track limits and drive-through stuff, I still don't understand because, you know, I literally don't know where I'm off track. But I think I'm not probably the only one. I guess it's the way the rules are, but yeah, we can't win every race. We can't have good weekends every weekend, but yeah, for sure, this race hasn't gone so good so far. But we'll be back.
94 Peugeot comes back, blinking into the sunlight, ready to head out once more. Loic Duval still at the wheel. So it looks like they have cured their issue, but they've lost 14 laps. What they are doing, though, is adding to their knowledge about this brand new race car, a brand new team, brand new program, and they are gearing up for 2023. 31 WRT in the pits, have to back up a little bit away from the Porsche, which has also stopped. That will have cost them a few extra seconds. Prema leading from Jota's number 38 car now. Robert Kubica ahead as we ride with Antonio Felix da Costa, and the Project 56 Porsche is between them. Da Costa can't get through there. He'll continue to chase down the leader. GTE Am battle for second, D station. And right behind is Rahel Frey. And she throws it up the inside. A little bit of contact there. Nikki Team will try and follow through, and does. Goes by Satoshi Hoshino. So Iron Dames up to second, Northwest AMR up to third. TF Sport still leading. The car that was on pole dropped back early on when the pros were in the other two Astons. Now back in front once more with Enrique Chavez in the 33 car. And Rahel Frey still under assault from Nikki Team. They brushed aside the D-station car of Satoshi Hoshino, but their battle rages on. 3 hours in, 3 hours to go. Toyota 1-2 here in Fuji ahead of Alpine, WRT and the Jota team battling in LMP2. It's a Ferrari 1-2. Porsche look out of the hunt in GTE Pro, but things can often change at the end of these long races. In GTE Am, it is TF Sport from Iron Dames and their Aston Martin rivals. A record equaling 36 entries here, and so far all going. The Algarve Pro car that crashed on lap 1 is back in the hunt. Trouble for Mike Wainwright in the GR Racing Porsche. 3 hours in, and the race has been green all the way through. He slowed in the final corners. Looks like he's getting going again. I imagine that will be heading into the pit lane, though. The GTE Am car. Yeah, slowing right down at the end of the lap. Now, has he run out of fuel? Car going back in the garage. Another of our British teams, and there was a minute's silence at the beginning of the race for Queen Elizabeth of Great Britain, who passed away during the week, and all the British teams with little tributes on the cars. Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II dying the week of the race. Alessandro Pierguidi and Antonio Fuoco, 1-2 for Ferrari, and it does look as though the number 52 car is quicker and wants to go by. The real problem here, though, is they're a long way out of the championship hunt, and Alessandro Pierguidi and James Calado, the reigning world champions, lead by just one single point over Estra, Christensen and Bruni. Iron Dames into the pits from the lead in GTE Am. Rahel Frey's done her job. Next up is Michelle Gatting. She will continue through probably till the end of the race, so over 2.5 hours remaining. Satoshi Hoshino is done as well, and done in. What a great stint he's had, though, for D Station. There is the D Station Aston Martin. Charlie Fagg up against Davide Rigon, the factory Ferrari driver in the air. Of course, the car just eases the Aston driver out very wide indeed. Charlie with a battle on his hands here. Davide Rigon knows this track very well. Raced here a number of times in GTE Pro for the factory Ferrari team with teammate then Sam Bird. And that 54AF Corsa car continuing to be a thorn in the side of the Iron Dames and the Aston Martins, and they may well be in with a shot at the podium. TF Sport leading from the Iron Dames, and Spirit of Race Ferrari number 71 up to third. Sixth place battle from former champions United Autosports Phil Hanson being chased by the number 1 Richard Mille Racing team, and Charles Milesi in the red and white car. Milesi, a champion last year in WEC with WRT. But neither United nor Milesi having the same kind of season that won them the titles this year. In fact, the United cars stuck 5th and 6th. Stop for the 92 Porsche of Kevin Escht, left sides only.
The tyre decision is very important on which tyre you drive, but I can say we tried both, and so far one is better than the others, but it's still not enough to fight with Ferrari. They seems a bit quicker than us, independent on which tyre we drive. So we'll see if we can get an advantage on strategy, or we need a bit of luck for sure. On our own pace, we can't pass them.
The Peugeot smoking again as it comes into the pit lane. No, that's not 94, that's 93, the sister car, but it does look like the same issue that afflicted the 94 car. Now you can tell in the pit lane which is which, because 93 has got green claws in its lights. 94 has white claws, but they're all white out on track. That does look like the same issue. Now, it took them about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to actually trace the problem on the 94 car, so they will undoubtedly go straight to that, whatever the problem was with their oil system, to try and see if it's exactly the same on this car. So diagnosis may take less time, and fixing probably a little bit less as well. Battle for second in GTE Am. Pierre Rag dives up the inside into the final corner, runs out wide, keeps it clean on the exit though. Michelle Gatting with a tighter line through in the pink Iron Dames Ferrari. Here she comes. She's got her nose just in front on the straight, but this is nearly a mile long, 1.5 kilometers, and here comes Pierre Rag. He's coming back at her, but she's still there. They'll hit the same top speed. It's the same car with different paint, and she has the inside line. Retakes second place. I'm not sure the battle's over though. Can he cut back going down the hill? There's her teammate Sarah Bovey watching the action. He goes around the outside, back to the inside, and it does look as though that might have sealed the deal. Pierre Rag through into second place for Spirit of Race. The only problem there is he's done it again in the final corner, and Michel Gatting in the slipstream, and with a slight headwind heading towards the cars, that actually exaggerates the aerodynamic tow she's getting. And through comes Real Team by WRT. There is Toyota, and they put a lap. The leaders have put a lap on Alpine, the third place car. Can Michel Gatting use those quicker cars to get by? She cannot this time. Was trying to pick up a toe off the Alpine, but that really just didn't work for her. So Pierre Rag hangs on in second.
So looks like it's the same problem as the supercar fault, so we are trying to fix it now.
It is funny the way racing brings out problems that never occur in testing. Here's the 94 car, Paul de Resta, all at 6s and 7s there, went for a gap and suddenly realised it wasn't happening. Mike Conway takes over Toyota number 7. Now they're a long way behind the number 8 car, a minute back. And it does look as though whatever the fundamental setup differences is between the cars, as they've changed from one compounder tyre to a different one, after the first couple of stints, number 7 is out of the hunt. 93 back out of the garage. Much shorter stop for them than the sister car. They're heading back out, but Toyota number 8 dominating here in Fuji.
Honestly, I think we've done a great job all weekend setting it up for the race. We saw the track temp was getting a lot hotter, and yeah, we went a little bit of a different setup compared to the other car. They seem to be struggling a bit more today with the hotter track, so I think it was the right move. And yeah, Seb's done a great start to give me a little bit of a gap, and yeah, it's just one of those days. I had the rhythm, I had the flow, the car felt good, and we extended the gap a lot. I was kind of surprised in a way. It's one of those days. So Rio's in the car now. Hopefully we can bring it home, but there's still a while to go.
There's Kaz Nakajima showing some guests around the garage. He was part of the number 8 crew back in 2019, the last race here, which they won. On board with the Corvette, Alessandro Pierguidi and Antonio Fuoco, 1-2 for Ferrari. The best of the Porsches, over half a minute back and really not on the pace. Corvette trying to unlap itself after the drive-through and running out of fuel. And there you can see the 91 Porsche as well, just in front. So in danger of that car going a lap down as well. Smoky look-up from the 51 car of Alessandro Pierguidi. Jota's number 28 car in the pits. Jonathan Aberdeen enjoyed his first stint so much he got back in again for more fast lappery. Now hands over to Oliver Rasmussen, who will complete the race. Just enough time to get his minimum 1 hour driving stint in. Top speed for the Toyota Hypercar, 319 kilometers an hour. Not much between GTE Pro and GTE Am. The cars are ostensibly pretty identical. 38 in for Jota as well in LMP2, just taking out some of the debris from the tyre and the wheel arches. And they are still very much in the hunt for victory here. Battling with Prema and WRT. Driver stop for Prema as well. Out gets Robert Kubica. His stint is completed. And will the 28 Jota car be on the podium? Will WRT or Prema beat them to victory? There is the race leader, the WRT number 31 machine. Robin Fryns at the wheel of the car that won in Spa. Antonio Felix da Costa, his rival in Formula E and here in WEC, 38. That Jota car won at Le Mans. It was, the team boss said, just about the most perfect race ever. They were just utterly dominant, almost from the moment the race started. Change for lead in GTE Pro. The yellow highlights are the 52 Ferrari. So that has moved through into the lead ahead of 51, their championship contender. Now they may have decided to use the second car of Antonio Fuoco to tow Alessandro Pierguidi along the straight. They're trying to gain a lap on fuel. This is Philippe Albuquerque in the blue and red United Auto Sports car trying to go by Paul-Luc Chatin in the number 1 Richemille car. Chatin hanging on there, but there's contact. Spins around. Let's take a look at this again. Yeah, Albuquerque on the outside. Chatan trying to avoid contact, but in the end has a little harmless spin. On board with Paul de Resta, the 93 Peugeot, and 4th place after its problems. And back out on track, but Paul, yeah, they're struggling to understand this car still, get the most out of it in race trim. Fortunate to avoid the barriers there.
Okay. Yeah, I just got the inside drive. Oh, please.
Peugeot's problems have meant that Alpine remains in 3rd place. Mathieu Vaxivière having another fuel stop. They are a lap behind the lead Toyotas, but at the moment, if it finishes as it is, they will still be joint championship leaders with the crew of number 8 as we head to the season finale in Bahrain. So really critical to keep the car on the island, make no mistakes, and have no technical issues either. Vaxivière gets it fired up again and off he goes. Ryo Hirakawa of Japan racing here at home for a Japanese manufacturer for the first time. This is a huge deal for this young man. Toyota prodigy since his early days in single-seaters. Taking the spot of Kazuki Nakajima when Kaz retired at the end of last season. They have a very handy advantage over their teammates, enough to be able to just relax a little in traffic, but not enough to cover over any big mistakes or incidents. 52 Ferrari leading the race. 51 now takes over as the 52 car stops on. They got the hose hooked around the rear wing. A rare stumble in their well choreographed pit stops. Won't have cost them too much. Take a look here as the gunman runs round. Yeah, the hose just getting caught on the wing. Tyre man doesn't know what's going on and follows him. Okay, no, we are going to do this one. 51 Ferrari in from the lead in GTE Pro. Just about an hour to go. This should be the final stop. They're running about a 65-minute stint, so this should be good to go. And it looks like 4 fresh tyres as well, just in case Porsche comes hunting. 91 Porsche. Track limits violations early on led to a drive-through. So Jimmy Bruni and Richard Leitz off the pace here. Still in the championship hunt. Still in the hunt to the 92 car. At the beginning of the race, the 3 Porsche drivers, Richard Leitz had to miss a race, so he's not a contender any longer. They were all 1 point behind the drivers of the 51 Ferrari, the reigning champions, James Calado and Alessandro Pierguidi. Louis Delatraz here, car number 9 for Prema, second in LMP2. Jotas Will Stevens leading, WRT's Robin Freins in 3rd place, 11 seconds, cover the podium with 50 minutes remaining, but there are differing fuel strategies in play. James Calado back in front in GTE Pro, the winners in Spa, one of 4 different crews to win this year, but they look like their second win will keep them right on top of the points.
To be honest, we are doing well. Both of the cars are running well. We are quite quick. I think we had a better choice about the tire. We are more consistent. Not at the end we have the same speed of the competitor in the first part of the stint, but the second part we are much quicker. It feels we have less tech, and so looks like the race is going on our side.
The LMP2 Pro Am leader is Niklas Nielsen, 83 AF Corsa car. They're in 10th place overall, ahead of Ultimate and Algarve Pro. And if it finishes like this, that will give them the lead of the Pro Am category back, with just the season finale in Bahrain. Basically then winner takes all. 33 Aston Martin, Marco Sorensen at the wheel, one of the legendary Dane train, former world champion, and he has just done his final stop. Michel Gatting then moves to the top of the pile for the Iron Dames. Looks like Rahal Frey is getting back in to do the final stint, last 25 minutes. So they need to do the driver change in the much shorter fuel stop because they're only taking on about half a stint's worth of fuel, and they're doing tyres. Marco Sorensen in the lead for TF Sport, does not need to stop again. Rahul Frey now with fresh tyres to try and chase him down, comes out of the pits in second place, having just taken over from Michel Gatting. Ahead of Charlie Fagg, there's Michel and Sarabovi, they're having fun, aren't they? Final stop of the race for the leaders, WRT. Robin Frein stays in. This will be a splash of fuel, a clean of the screen. They have tyres ready. Are they going to use them? No, I don't think they are. I think this is fuel and no more time stationary than required. It's a battle between them and Jota. When will 38 stop? The team saying they think they do need to stop before the end of the race. Green all the way through so far. Third place in LMP2 is Prema. This is a ferociously paced race. The record race distance here back in 2016 in the LMP1 era, 244 laps. Will probably be a dozen short of that here. So maybe 5 miles an hour top speed or average speed difference between LMP2 and Hypercar. Oh, very busy in traffic still as the sun falls down the horizon. And real team by WRT chasing the number 28 Jota car for fourth place through traffic. Look at this. Oh, Giancarlo Fisichella yellow Ferrari just getting out of the way in time. Grandstand's now packed with Japanese fans and their Toyota flags. Now, Jota's dived into the pits with less than 4 minutes on the clock. They did need fuel, and that's the decisive move of the race, surely. There's the WRT crew, and through goes the 31 car. Right at the bottom of the shot, just ahead of the race leader. Out comes Jota number 38 in second place. 3 minutes to catch the leader, Robin Freins.
We just want trouble-free end of the race. You know, we had a difficult last 2 races in Le Mans and Monza, but hopefully we just take it home now, have a clean one.
WRT lead Jota, and the battle for third, now that Prema have just had to pit, is Jota versus Real Team by WRT. So that is Oliver Rasmussen in the green Jota car clinging on to third. Either Jota or WRT will get 2 cars on the podium. The leaders on the final lap, so there'll be just one more chance to get this done. Rasmussen hanging on, he starts his final lap. Toyota looking towards celebration here. Ryo Hirakawa on the last lap of Fuji. Crowd are on their feet, flags are waving on Toyota's home circuit, the track they own. Toyota Gazoo Racing claim a 1-2 result in round 5 of the FIA World Endurance Championship. Ryo Hirakawa, his first year with the factory team. He's won Le Mans and he's won his home race as well. The 30th overall win in World Endurance by a Japanese driver. What a great day for Ryo Hirakawa.
I grew up here, you know, it's my home race and home track, and you know, it's a nice feeling to win, you know, after winning Le Mans. And you know, one more race, Bahrain, so yeah, let's focus on the next one. But yeah, tonight we enjoyed the victory.
The LMP2 win in the end going to Sean Gelael, Robin Freins, and sub for the weekend, Dries van Tor, his first LMP2 win. But it is the 5th win in 8 LMP2 races that has gone to WRT. First win of the season for the 31 crew. GTE Pro, a dominant race in Japan for Ferrari. They won in the rain in Spa. They dominated in the heat of Japan. Alessandro Pierguidi and James Collado extend their slender championship lead and take the title all the way again to Bahrain.
It wasn't easy, honestly. It wasn't straightforward. We had to deal with a lot of things, especially tyre degradation. I think it was the same for everyone, but we had to really manage the tyres to be able to keep them lasting until the end. But I would say it's more of a team effort, and I think the team did an amazing job in getting the 1-2. They were fantastic this weekend, and it's great to be back in Japan. It's great to see all these amazing fans, and yeah, it's great to get the win. So one more to go.
The 30th GTE Pro win for Ferrari, and last year's champions may well take the title again at the very last ever GTE Pro race in Bahrain. Between Porsche and Ferrari, the manufacturers' race is very close, just a single point in it. All to play for in the desert. GTE Am victory to the four horsemen TF Sport Aston Martin as Marco Sorensen takes the flag. Ben Keating claiming his 4th win in GTE Am, and Sorensen taking back-to-back wins in an Aston Martin in Fuji. He won last time for the factory squad. Resounding success again in Japan for Toyota. Another 1-2 result. Toyota Gazoo Racing extend their points advantage over Alpine, and it looks increasingly likely that they will be Hypercar champions again in 2022. The drivers' title race remains tied. 121 points apiece between the crew of the number 8 car Le Mans winners and Alpine. It will be winner takes all in Bahrain. For Fuji though, Toyota 1-2, Alpine in 3rd. Peugeot with more questions. WRT coming out the winners in LMP2. AF Corsa dominating in GTE Pro. And in GTE Am, the Aston Martins looking very strong. TF Sport on top of the pile. Iron Dames, as in Monza, finishing in 2nd. Just one car retired, Dempsey Proton with a drive shaft failure. After 3 years, it's good to be back with the fans in Japan, but for now it is sayonara as we head to the heat of Bahrain for the Season 10 title shootout.
You're getting my